A common sense recap of the day's biggest stories. It's John Catsimatidis and Rita Cosby. Katz and Cosby on 77 WABC.
We have some breaking news from, about electric vehicles from Andrew Stuttaford. And Andrew, tell us what the heck is going on with electric vehicles. There was some breaking news today that I was shocked about.
Yeah, the numbers were like
47% of electric vehicle owners say they'll never buy an electric vehicle again, or something like that.
I want to know who are the 53 that want to keep them.
Go ahead, Andrew.
I was shocked, truly shocked by this news. I mean, how can you not like driving a car where a fast charge, if you're lucky to find one, will only take you 20 minutes to half an hour, or that you have to keep plugged in sort of half the day, or that won't work properly in the cold, that may cost more to insure. People just aren't grateful. That's the only way I see it.
Now, it also came out that some of the owners that owned Teslas for 2 years, their batteries refused to charge after 2 years, and Tesla quoted them $50,000 for a new battery?
Yep, I didn't see that, but I wouldn't be surprised about the cost, because you've got to remember. Well, I know you know this. The cost of the battery is a gigantic part of the cost of the car and of an EV. And one of the interesting things is if the EV, what sort of battery are you getting when you buy a second-hand EV? And will the battery, you buy a car, you hope it's going to last. But if you buy an EV, you might have to be buying a battery. I think 2 years certainly would be exceptional. But if you had to buy a new battery after 6 or 7 or 8 years, you're sort of buying another car again.
So these people are what? They're just throwing away those cars, or what are they doing?
No. I would imagine that they're selling them on the second-hand market, but they won't on the used car market. But they will not be getting a very good price.
Now, by the way, to our audience, we're talking to Andrew Stuttaford, who is with National Review, and he's an editor there and handles capital markets. And what else do you handle there besides capital markets, Andrew?
Well, I do. I basically write about, two areas, really. One is sort of finance, economics, and business, and that can mean just about anything. And the other side is, wearing my just ordinary National Review hat, I normally write about international affairs, a lot of it in Europe.
Andrew, Hertz, they were stuck with a whole bunch of electric vehicles. Did they ever sell them?
They tried to sell them, and I imagine that they are continuing to try to sell them. I have seen sort of in the secondary market talk about ex-Hertz EVs floating around, and there's always a price.
Or you could use them for paperweights.
Or you could use them as maybe a sort of advertisement outside your house to show that you care about the planet. It doesn't matter if it doesn't go. But no, I mean, it was a disaster for Hertz. It cost them far, far more to maintain. And also, if you think about it, which I don't think they did, would you rent an EV? I mean, for example, if you arrive in a new town, you're a typical user of an EV, a typical ordinary car buyer, which most people do buy traditional cars still and drive them. And you arrive in a new car at the airport, and oh, you're in luck. You've got an EV. Good grief. And there were various horror stories about people who'd had absolute nightmare journeys. And I think with a rented Hertz, because Hertz committed very, very heavily to EVs, and the people, the people were there was no real teaching for some of the new drivers. So how safe is that? And more to the point, they didn't know where to charge their cars. And above all, that's the problem. I mean, when you read now, people are talking about EV charging deserts. And imagine you're a stranger in a strange town, and you didn't know where to go.
Andrew, Judge Richard Weinberg, you had a question?
Andrew, there was a decision by the Supreme Court of the United States turning aside, at least temporarily, new EPA rules about the downwinds, saying that they had overreached. So there was a lawsuit by about 25 of the states against the federal EPA. Can you tell us about that?
Frankly, I missed it. What were they saying?
The answer is that there's a history of the Supreme Court pushing back against EPA overregulation when it's beyond their authority. And what the states had said was, you're imposing these rules, we're unable to do it technologically, we don't have the ability to do it, it's too costly, and the Supreme Court turned the EPA back on its tail and said, no, these rules will not be implemented, there needs a lot more study, there needs to be more litigation going through. We're pushing back again. So this is about the third major time that the EPA, under the Biden administration, has been told you're overreaching beyond your authority and you're causing chaos.
Yeah, here we are. You're talking downwind on the power plant.
Exactly right.
That's right. Sorry, I was just Googling frantically. I've been traveling for 2 days. Yes, I mean, as always, what the EPA is doing is saying, here are the technological standards that we want. Now you go and deliver them. And, they're sitting in their offices. They're delivering their mandates. They're like Soviet central planners. So they're saying, you fix it. And, of course, a lot of these mandates are undoable. And it's as true of very often of electric vehicles as it is of the power plants. And if we go to the power plant situation, the two connect, because if we are going to be installing, if we're going to be making everyone drive EVs or trying to, quote, encourage them to drive EVs, how are they going to, where's the electricity, where's the power going to come from to power them? Particularly now, and I don't know whether you've been following this, if we take off into the sort of AI revolution, the demands on electricity coming from AI are going to be absolutely enormous.
Andrew, we're out of time. We're out of time. But we want to talk to you further, so we're going to talk to you again another day, and we're going to carry on this conversation.
Look forward to it.
Thank you so much, Andrew.